Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock channel where what is clear to archaeologists is unclear to megalithic fans because we wear megalithic lens and see things from a different perspective. Today, we are going to check out a very strange monument we have yet to know what it is.
Iran has an empire history going as far back as 2500 years ago. Many events happened and this monument located in north of Fars province has gone through a little bit of Buddhism alongside with Zoroastrianism before it became an Islamic country. Qadam means foot and in this case it means footprint. Gah means place and in this case it means sanctuary.
Culturally, religious footprint is a common thing in Buddhism. According to Mustafa Vaziri, there are many sites in Iran with holy footprints. The Islamization of Iran over a long period of time has these footprints slowly been attributed to imams and Muslim prophets. This monument is located at the southeast edge of Mount Ramat's mountainous region, or locally known as Kui-Ramat. It is on the north of Chaskor village. It is said that this monument was discovered by Captain H. L. Wells in 1881, which I wonder if that means the locals didn't even know it was there.
This monument is called Qadamgah, as in Persian it means place of the footprints. It refers to the footprints which belong to Imam Ali's mule. It is locally known as Qadamgah-e-Ali. He was on his way to the holy city of Mafdash when he stopped by to have a drink at the spring. Today, pilgrims will stop by to drink from the spring, which is believed to be holy water. However, other traditions says that the footprints belong to Imam Ali himself.
It is also believed to be a monument related to a cult because of a spring and water nearby. During certain time of the year, the lowest level can contain a very shallow pool of water. But it is enough for mainstream to suspect that this monument has something to do with water. If there was a water cult nearby, that would mean H. L. Wells didn't discover this site but rather rediscovered it. This monument is also called Qadamgah Chaskor because it is located nearest to the village Chaskor. There was no excavation needed at this site because for some strange reason, dirt and dust never seemed to accumulate enough to bury it. How it could stay nice and exposed for more than 2000 years is a mystery to me. This monument is also called Qadamgah Achaemenid Platform, which upon early discovery, it has the impression of a tomb. It was believed to be a platform for funerary purpose due to its resemblance to the tomb of Artaxerxes II and III. So as you can see here, the naming of this awesome structure simply shows that we have no clue how it got here. Is that even possible? I can see from the dimensions given that this site is more complicated than it looks. It has 3 levels with 2 stairs on the side on the middle platform. This monument is mysteriously without a hole in the middle, which if it does, archaeologists would be quick to assume it is a tomb. It is pretty smooth on all the 3 sides, but yet there is no sign of its intention to be a tomb. That is rather strange to me. If it is an unfinished tomb, then why spend so much time making the walls smooth, but no time to carve a hole? In fact, the walls look more like a machine that sliced the bedrock like clay than the work of ancient Persians with chisels. It is written that this site was discovered by H. L. Wells in 1881, and he came up with a drawing of this site. There was no research done and not much attention was given to this site, since everyone who came to know about this site is clueless until today. This diagram and the scale is useful for me to know the size of this site and give us an idea the magnitude of this project in a meaningful way. With the combination of information from the internet and diagrams provided, I can see from the dimensions given that this site is larger than it looks. Although it looks like a simple structure, it is clearly more complicated than those at Persepolis when it comes to front courtyard.
With the dimensions given, you can break the diagram into two blocks of red and blue. The triangular block is approximately 6,316 cubic meters. After deducting the red and blue blocks, the estimated volume removed is approximately 3,345 cubic meters. Assuming limestone density of 2.2 tons per cubic meter, approximately 6,692 tons of bedrock was removed. That is a lot of bedrock that went missing in the form of rubble if it was chipped away, or blocks of stones that could have been used to build houses if they were cut into blocks. If each camel or horse can handle 1 ton of rubble, you will need 6,692 trips to make the rubble disappear. Is it possible that ancient Persians decided to abandon this project at this point because the bedrock quality isn't good enough, as what some archaeologists suggest? Would you go to this extent on a project only to realize that there is a quality issue and conclude it is time to move on because the bedrock quality isn't that great?
This monument is surrounded by 11 mysterious holes that no one is able to figure it out what they are for. The unknown ancient builders seems to give us more questions than answers pretty much everywhere they go. Archaeologists tend to assume it is mortise and tenon concept in purpose, and therefore it could have been a concept for having pillars. This is one of the mysteries to be solved. This structure has 15 recesses which are about 10 centimeters to 15 centimeters deep. It is totally unclear what they are for or meant to be. It seems like they are meant to cut to deepen the facade prior to having a hole cut into the bedrock, which archaeologists would call it a tomb. Then, the Zoroastrian relief of a priest facing fire altar with Ahura Mazda in the middle will be created next. If the unknown ancient builders were to be given the opportunity to complete it, then it probably will look like those at Naqsh-e-Rustam and Takht-e-Jamshid. If they do, it will be without inscription or dead body. Instead, it will be with confusion and cluelessness. Typically and logically, when you have a design or architecture with similar concept, then you can say they are related in culture or civilization. So if those structures at Persepolis or Throne of Jamshid archaeological site, which is locally known as Takht-e-Jamshid, are tombs, then this monument at Qadamgah is obviously a tomb. There are 3 monuments with a huge triangular shape cut out from a bedrock slope. 2 of the monuments have a hole each and a cavity hollowed out with rectangular holes on the inside, assumed to be sarcophagus. But there are 2 without any hole. One has a Zoroastrian depiction, and a hole is assumed to have yet been cut out. The one at Qadamgah has 2 stairs with the concept of tomb of Artaxerxes II and III, but clearly there is no intention to have a hole in the middle. It doesn't even have any depiction of Zoroastrian religion. Qadamgah Monument is an anomaly that raises eyebrows high enough to conclude that we got it wrong and someone else was here first. Let's take a further look at tombs at Naqsh-e-Rustam or murals of Rustam. They are in a cross-shaped design. It is called a tomb even though there isn't any dead body. In my opinion, the depiction on the top is more like a priest than a king. As a summary of all the tombs that have been assigned, none of them has a dead body. All of them has no inscription except the one with inscription mentioning King Darius I. At this point, I can safely say Persians only did a cuneiform inscription on one monument, which is rather suspicious to me. Why didn't they do it for all of them? Why is Qadamgah oddly at the far end, southeast of Ramat's mountainous region? In conclusion, this three-level rectangular cutout is a monument so strange it cannot fit the narrative of a tomb. It is clearly not a palace, and it is lacking in religious symbols and therefore cannot be a temple. The later civilization came along, failed to recycle this due to its uselessness for any purpose meaningful to human. Ancient Persians were clueless. Buddhist Persians may have related it to Buddhism, and modern Persians embraced Islam, naturally related to imams and prophets. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Qadamgah, where this horse footprint monument leaves a psychological footprint of religious mind. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Khoda Hafiz.